Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Ruchi Sharma and we are here at the ABC-Conclave 2023 in Dubai, and I have with me a very special guest, Mr. Ali Safri, CTO, Avanza Innovations. Welcome to 3.TV, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, if we talk about Metaverse has, attracted 44% of the total Web3 investments till now in 2023. How has the scenario changed with the adoption of Metaverse?
Metaverse is an environment which is like more of a 3D kind of environment where we could go across and explore things in a much immersive manner. One of the main thing across over there in the Metaverse is that if you use the keyboard or if you use the traditional touch screen, those particular kind of patterns are not going to work. So one important element that we all know across is the speech. This is how I am talking with you, right? So generative AI, which is able to understand human languages much better, and there are many languages across as well, right? So people can express what they want to do and get answers, navigate around an experience in a much better manner. So whether it is gaming, they can derive more value out of it, or maybe if the enterprises are there, they can provide services in a much more better fashion. So an amalgamation of the metaverse along with the generative AI is going to make a winning combination. So that's why AI-enabled metaverses and coupled and powered by the blockchain layer at the very bottom. So these three technologies together can provide a very, very much winning combination for this overall industry.
So Metaverse is really helping in the healthcare industry, in the healthcare sector, and a lot of surgeries are done with the help of AI. Do you think the integration of AI and Metaverse will bring about a new tomorrow for mankind in terms of healthcare?
Yes.
Healthier life?
Yes, so it doesn't only apply to the healthcare, it would be across all the industries because the immersive experience is, if we define it in a way, so see from a perspective that we had all this Nokia 3310 phones, it has a very basic UI, right? So my user-machine interface was quite much limited. Then we came across all these touchscreen-based smartphones, and that is a go-to asset for us now. Now it's a matter of time where this immersive gears become smaller, because right now they are quite much heavy, so you cannot put and take maximum value out of it. But as they become smaller in size, they become more powerful. The GPU becomes much more accessible. The bandwidth, because of the 5G and 6G rollouts, become much more common. So in that particular scenario, what is going to happen? We would see that immersive experience, because if I have a screen on this side, I have a screen on that side, and I'm wearing a simple glass and interacting with my voice and interacting with my gestures. So that's going to be much more powerful. So a future generation will see, okay, you were using this particular smartphone, it was such a thing just like a 3310 mobile phone that we see across, right? So the whole way in which we interact is going to change across.
Talking about NFTs, the sales volumes are really declining, really going down. The floor prices of the blue chip NFTs is going down. It's kind of going through a meltdown, the NFT marketplace, the total NFT market. What do you think is the reason for this, and when will the NFT market bounce back?
Okay, so from an NFT perspective, one of the things is that that particular asset that is represented by an NFT, basically, at one hand we say across that you own that particular asset, but anybody can copy that and create another copy, right? So you do not have any bragging rights. But in the physical world, if I own a bag, then I just only own that bag. That person cannot replicate that much easily. So that's why that particular hype that came across was that, okay, I have a digital assets, but everybody has that digital assets too. So that's why I think the market has gone down. There has to be things that needs to be done across with respect to it, like models of maybe two-factor authentication, that if I have a digital asset, everybody could see a different version of that particular asset, which is a trimmed down version of that particular asset. But if I want to use it in a game, or I would want to use it in a metaverse, I can have access to that particular complete resource. Unless and until people come up with those kind of wallets which provide those kind of things, then the real value would come out that I own it because it's a kind of a pride, right? So after that, I think if some solutions come across in that particular area, then the value may bounce back. But otherwise, if that's not addressed, I see that market has a hard time to recover.
So there is also royalty issue that we are seeing in NFT, market. OpenSea has made royalties optional. So now Yuga Labs in response has stopped trading on OpenSea. So Yuga Labs, we know there's BAYC, MAYC, Mibits, CryptoPunks. So now without these IP franchises, how will these NFT marketplaces work?
Okay, so the value lies not with those particular organization. The value lies in the content, right? If you create very remarkable content which is scarce, and if you could control that, you can prove to the world I have that particular content, but I would only be the one using those sort of wallets where I control, nobody can copy. So that's where the value lies, right? So I don't think so that is going to impact, but these kind of ecosystems need to come across. Secondly, if you have an NFT, for example, based on which you could actually create some models which are not around royalty but around dividends. So people owning that particular NFT, they are, let's say there's a property and an NFT is being owned by multiple people, right? So whoever are the people, a rental income that is coming across, that is given to them as a dividend, or in the real world there is a car, let's say a Kareem car, right, but owned by a number of people as an NFT that works in a metaverse as well, right? So, and then whatever income come across, that generates some dividends on top of it. So again, if these kind of models come across, then value will come across within the NFT market again.
So what is the role of AI in NFTs? Will that help NFT market with the?
Okay, so that would have to make people much more creative, because what is going to happen, you can generate quite much remarkable content because it is an AI generated content. Now, if we talk about generative AI and arts, there are two aspects to it. One is my human mind thinking across of a concept, and the other thing is expressing it in the form of an image or in a video. Now, this second skill set becomes much more competitive because anybody who has any idea, they can translate the things across. So people need to think really, really well and ideate to create something which distinguishes from the others. So the competition basically increases in this area.
So AI is growing too big, too fast, without an oversight. Are you an advocate of oversight over AI, or do you think AI should navigate its own journey?
I think oversight, let people be creative and let things go, because it can be for the betterment, but yes, it could be abused across. And again, what I believe in, that generative AI, as it moves forward, it could be maliciously utilized as well. And this could be a real problem for the whole governments, for the whole set of enterprises, because most of the documents that we generate that prove we have ownership of something, right? So I have bank guarantees which are on paper, I have school educational degrees which are on paper. Based on certain stamp and the type of stationery, it is proven that it is, I own that particular thing. I have visas that are stamped which are just paper. With a malicious GPT kind of a thing, a 5-year-old kid could generate a US visa, which is very much realistic. So the faking problem is going to come, and it is going to come big time, right? Which would shake up all the organizations because they cannot trust this particular information. So technologies like blockchain, which would provide authenticity, ownership, backed by a digital public record, that is going to help. So what is going to happen at one end, as generative AI grows, that technology adoption like blockchain also grows. Secondly, if we think about the generative AI, right now what we call a 2D content of a video, or for example an image, that's something which you could generate. But as the GPUs are available widely, the bandwidth is available widely, and a lot of 3D objects are generated across. So then basically people could create 3D content much more faster, and that could be deployed into the metaverse, and again all this immersive experience comes across, so that would make that adoption faster. So generative AI will push that particular metaverse discipline further as well, the same way it is going to push that particular blockchain experience further as well. And if you put across quantum computing, which are giving the existing set of CPUs, GPUs a boost via a QPU, quantum processing unit. So real-time AI could be trained across. Right now in generative AI, you have a pre-trained model. It takes time to pre-train that particular model, but all the eyes and ears, which is the IoT, if it is going to put real-time data into that particular model, it could be done quite much faster using a QPUs, which is the quantum processing units. So in that particular case, you have a real-time learning of that particular AI. So all these technologies combined together is going to give a wonderful future world that we would be living in.
So lastly, according to you, what kind of regulations does the Web3 space need?
Okay, so the first thing that we see across from an example is that when cars were invented, right? So there were no infrastructure. So first thing was that the infrastructure was created, right? And then how you drive safely, what are the parking signs and everything that evolved over time, right? So now if we think about the Web3, what we are in a phase that we are creating infrastructures. Still people are seeing in silos, okay, this is Metaverse, this is generative AI, I want to solve this specific problem. You do not see from a whole strategic perspective something, right? But as things become normal, right, it's part of our daily lives, and as this infrastructure grows, all these countries, all these enterprises are going to create those particular regulations. So I think these regulations will come with time, and that would increase the confidence as well. Like for example, in the crypto market, a scam could be done quite much easily. Nobody is monitoring who that particular organization is, right? So even for a Web3 game, a play-to-earn model, you can create a game, people play across, and then they accumulate a lot of tokens, but then tokens are just shit coins, right, in the end, so you lose the money. So which governments are regulating that? At the same time, if we see the existing financial system, there is some sort of regulation. A Silicon Valley Bank, if we had gone bankrupt, at least government is saying 250,000 up to we will cover you, right? So consumer protection is there, right? So these are the things I think will evolve with time, just like the driving example that I gave you. So there would be kind of parking signs, there would be what you could do, what you cannot do. So that would come up eventually, yeah.
Thank you so much for giving us your valuable time and having this conversation with us.
Thank you very much, yeah.
So that's all in the special segment for now. This is me, Ruchi Sharma, signing off. Keep watching 3.0 TV.